Floyd Mayweather Jr. is arguably one of the greatest boxers of all time. He had a career record of 50-0, and he overcame any adversity he faced in the ring. Floyd Mayweather Jr. comes from a boxing family, so it's literally in his bloodline. Today, we are going to take a look at some of the strength and conditioning methods of what I like to consider the GOAT. First up, calisthenics. Now, Floyd Mayweather was not a fan of weightlifting, but he did believe in high volume calisthenics, which helped him to build his strength endurance. A lot of times what boxers don't realize is you need to incorporate some type of strength training. So that way later in the fight, when the other guy is gassed, you still have your muscle endurance and you still are able to carry that strength over into them later rounds to get a late stoppage if necessary, or to make sure that your opponent is still feeling the power in your punches. Next up, chopping wood, which is an old school exercise that we saw greats like Muhammad Ali doing. So Floyd Mayweather chopping wood is going to increase his rotational power. This helps with that leaping hook that he likes to throw, and it helps to increase the power on that so that the opponents really feel the snap in that punch. Chopping wood is the same thing, very similar to hitting the tire with the sledgehammer. I do like chopping wood better because you're able to get outdoors while you're doing it. Here's a cool article here, The Training Octagon. It talks about how to develop that rotational power for all athletes. So I will link a copy of this down below so you all can check it out if you want. This is how science is applied for increasing rotational power, and it's from the Strength and Conditioning Journal, so it is a legit article. Now we're just looking at some highlights here, seeing Floyd Mayweather throw that hook. Boom. That hook to the body is what dropped that guy. So we know that training that rotational power has a direct carry over to the ring. And I say this all the time, it's about how you train, and you're training for your sport, which is what we saw Mayweather doing with chopping wood. Next up, jumping rope. Now there have been many viral clips showing of Floyd Mayweather jumping rope, especially when he's in fight camp preparing for a fight. Now, something that a lot of people may not have noticed is Floyd Mayweather at times will jump rope with ankle weights. And I'll show you all a clip. I'll zoom in so that you all can actually see the ankle weights. I'm not sure how much weight it is, but there are ankle weights on his feet, which is going to apply more resistance. And we can see it in this clip here. So it's going to make it tougher, but it's also going to build up the legs more, build up that endurance, so that way he's able to last longer. Now, all boxers should be jumping rope. It's great for building endurance. It's total body conditioning. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. is making this look very simple here, but I promise you this is very, very difficult. So he's also able to still focus in while it looks like he's having fun. He has that ultimate focus and the ultimate conditioning, which is why we never saw Floyd Mayweather Jr. get gassed in fights because of how he trained. Next up, shadow boxing. So we see here Floyd Mayweather Jr. shadow boxing with dumbbells. Now there are guys that don't believe in shadow boxing with dumbbells, but Floyd Mayweather Jr. is 50-0. So I'm going to assume that he knows better than the people that say you shouldn't shadow box with dumbbells. So we see here, he's still shadow boxing like he would normally, looking like he has an opponent in front of him. So he's shadow boxing with the purpose. He's not just aimlessly throwing punches. He's keeping everything tight, building that muscle endurance, because once he drops the dumbbells and shadow boxes regularly, he'll be able to go longer because he's built up that endurance from shadow boxing with those dumbbells. So another form of him not only increasing his endurance, but increasing his strength by shadow boxing with those dumbbells. Here we see him working the body shield, which is excellent for building that anaerobic conditioning, because that body shield, if you've never used it before, I recommend you try it. It pretty much just absorbs your power. Next up here we have neck training. So Floyd Mayweather has never been dropped throughout his 50 fights. There was a fight, ref didn't call it, so it doesn't count, but his glove touched the canvas, but the judge didn't call it, so it wasn't a knockdown. So we want to attribute Floyd Mayweather never being knocked down to his neck training. He made sure that his neck was strong. He had a strong chin. Yes, he took great shots despite being one of the best defensive fighters ever. He did take strong shots, but the fact that he trained his neck, he was able to withstand those shots and then come back with his own shots. And oftentimes, guys could not take that punishment back. Next up, we got roll work. Now, this is one of my favorite things about Floyd Mayweather, his roll work, because a lot of guys nowadays do not want to do long and tough roll work. And Floyd Mayweather was famous for stating that he would go to the club, you know, people would be in there partying, he would see other fighters in there, and in his mind, he knew, okay, I'm going to go work out after I leave the club. He would run after leaving the club because he knew that his competition, they were going to be up partying and they were not working out after the club. So it was like a numbers game. Like, if I can train more than you, then I'm going to be better than you. I'm going to have better conditioning. So Floyd Mayweather ran for miles. It wasn't just, a 3-mile run, and then no, he was running for 5+ miles outdoors in that Las Vegas heat. So he put in the work. He earned his stripes, which is one of the reasons why I consider him one of the GOATs. He's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of boxing because of his training methods. Like, yeah, he broke the bank. He makes a lot of money from fighting, but he also opened up the avenue for other fighters to bet on themselves to make a lot of money. So he not only was the GOAT in the ring, but outside of the ring, he's showing fighters how to have life after boxing. Now back to that roll work. So that roll work also would translate over to his other work that he did in the gym, such as mitt work that he's doing with his Uncle Roger here. Rest in peace to Roger Mayweather, the original Black Mama, who was a beast as well. So all of that roll work pays dividends in other aspects of the training. It's not just, I'm running, I can go a long distance. That's building that aerobic conditioning, so that way Floyd can go 12 rounds and in between rounds just still stand up and not need to sit down. And he's oftentimes watching the other corner to see how tired the other guy is. Now he's back to working that body shield, and the guy holding the body shield, was Floyd Mayweather's guy for a long time. His name is Big Nate, I believe. But he's ripping those shots to the body. So this is, once again, that anaerobic conditioning, but it's also working on those body shots. So he's training sport-specific stuff here. So, I'm a huge advocate for lifting weights for strength and conditioning, but we see that it's not always necessary. If your training is going to mimic your sport, like how Mayweather's did, and he added calisthenics to increase that strength, then you're perfectly fine doing that. Now, the people that I train, I'm going to have them doing, weights that are going to carry over to their performance in MMA or boxing. But Floyd Mayweather has a great recipe to condition and to strengthen your body to become a great boxer. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel. Catch you on the next one. Peace.